This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Success isn't about winning. It's about overcoming, adapting, and staying true to who you are through it all. Welcome to Perspektives Bank. Today, joining me is my brother, Cord Parks. How you feeling, my brother?
Man, I feel good. Feel damn good.
Nah, how you really feeling? Now I always do a wellness check to see where you at with your mental. How you feeling, brother?
I think I'm at about a 85.
85 out of 100?
85 out of 100. Yeah.
Nigga, that's it. That's
That's
100.
great.
85 out of 100?
I don't know. If you used to being in the 90 to, you know what I'm saying, 100 range, 85 might be a little up under that.
I'm about a 30.
A 30?
Ain't
no way.
Every time I'm at a 30.
How?
Feel like it. So you good? 85, that's good.
Yeah, 85. I feel like about 85. Yeah.
What if you don't mind me asking, what got the 15%? What's off?
I'll say probably my other 15 just still me getting back out, you know what I'm saying, getting better adapted, finding my routine and really still trying to navigate and find them things that make me happy outside of just working and grinding.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely just getting back to the things that I enjoy doing, gonna close the gap. And then, obviously, you got goals and things that you got set that you want to achieve. So I think that'll close it too.
So the 15% really just overthinking.
You think so? I don't know. I wouldn't say overthinking. More so just doing for me right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I done had a few things, like, that's close. Like, I done had a couple deals and things that I'm like, damn, it's right here. And they fell through at the end. It's like, damn, what it's going to take to get over that hump. But still just giving myself grace to understand shit. I'm just getting back into the flow of everything, too.
Oh, we jumping the gun. Before we get started, man, I want to let you introduce yourself and what you do, who you is, where you from, how you come. You know?
Cord Parks, former NFL, CFL player, born and raised in the city from Atlanta, Georgia. Went to Stone Mountain High School, but my roots was over in Edgewood. My family, everybody grew up over there. Mom went to high school, went to Roosevelt. All my family, went to school over there. Transition into, talent management and consulting once I stopped playing. And I feel like I'm a dot connector.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I bring creative flair and juice wherever I go. And then just I call myself like a creative sniper. I'm able to sit back and see things and then come up with plays off of that. So that's, who I feel like I am now in titles.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But outside of that, I feel like, for myself, I got a big heart, focused, determined, and to even just be sitting here talking about perspective, I feel like I got a great perspective on stuff. I love to hear different folks' perspective.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can completely not agree with somebody on something, but still
understand exactly
how somebody could come from that, you know what I'm saying, from that perspective. So, open-minded, bro, and just feel like I just got a good heart.
Growing up, what was your biggest dream outside of football? Like, what was
Outside
your
of
first dream?
football?
What was your first dream?
My first dream really was football.
Okay.
But outside of that, man, I really wanted to work on cars. I was a tinkerer as a kid, so I spent a lot of time tearing shit up around the house, tearing the VCR up, putting it back together. Working on stuff. And then as a kid, really, I was very inquisitive. So like with my grandfather, he laid tile. My other uncle, all of my, the men in our family were, very hands-on and skills and doing different stuff. So they ain't never really tell me to get out the way. Whenever they were doing something, they let me come in and learn and tap in with the trades. One of my uncles was a carpenter. So I really was always inquisitive. My granddaddy was out there working on the car. You gonna catch me up trying to see and lay up under there to see what was going on too. So that really, I fell in love with cars early. And really, you know what I'm saying, it was a thing for me where it's just like I enjoyed seeing a clean car pull up, knowing what's going on with it, knowing how to fix it. And then when I got into high school, I was the dude that outside of playing ball, my partners would pull up and I install a radio, put some beat in the car, just doing little stuff like that. So I think outside of that definitely was my thing of just trying to figure out what I can do with my hands.
What car you wanted that you didn't ever get though?
A 6'4" Impala.
Okay, yeah.
a 6'4" Impala, and back then I used to get them lowrider magazines, so I definitely want to have them switches on it.
Yeah.
Definitely want to have them switches on it. Like I just remember like Edgewood, they being at the park.
Yeah.
And seeing, I remember bruh had the gold Suburban with them 15s and just little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And seeing everybody pull up with their whips and
everybody
showing your personality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like a car really show, when somebody put their hard work and they effort into it, it really show a person's personality.
Yeah.
Even a car you pick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can look at the person and be like, hey, I can see how bruh drive one of them or pick something like that. So that definitely was something, for me growing up was them whips. Definitely.
Hey, let's switch gears back to football. When you knew you had the next level potential though?
When did I know?
Yeah, what age? And what age did the people knew, like everybody around you knew, like, oh, he going?
I don't think people ever knew. Honestly.
Coaches or nobody?
Nah, because I was smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I came out during the time at the position I played was running back. You couldn't have told me, like, playing in park ball, I played at Redan. And I was a pretty good running back, but, at that time you had to be a certain size and all that kind of stuff to come out. And once I got to high school, I think what kind of I felt like separated was my folks. You know what I'm saying? My folks did a damn good job, like finding resources and doing stuff. Like I was going out to Marietta to train, in high school. I was going to see trainers then, and the main thing for them was just making sure they ain't have to pay to go to school. You know what I'm saying? We come from. That's the biggest thing. Hey, we can't pay for you to go to school.
Yeah.
But this can do it. So that was the thing. And then I think when it really stuck out for me was probably my junior year of college.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills came to a practice, and another team, I can't remember what team it was, and they showed some interest, and I ran a 40, and I ain't hear nothing back after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they came in and they do a couple different tests that a lot of people don't know, like the Wonderlic and all that kind of stuff. But I had at that point kind of had hung it up with football because I didn't enjoy it no more. College kind of took the enjoyment out for me.
What happened?
The coaches, understanding that it's the sports business. You feel me? Like a lot of people look at it and think, oh, you going to school, you getting a scholarship and doing all that kind of stuff, but it's big business. That's why I'm so happy that these kids getting the bag now in college versus how it was for us. Like it was some under the table stuff for a lot of guys, but back then for us it wasn't like that. So I went to school in Boston. I went to college in Boston, and coming from the city, that's day and night. I'm getting to an area where it's predominantly white, and I can find a hood anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But the experience from the coaches, and it kind of took the love of the game away from me. And they come into your house, they recruit you, they tell you all these different things, they tell your parents all this kind of stuff, and then when you get to campus, you like, man, this nigga here is not who he said he was. When he came in and told my folks this. Like, this nigga totally different. Yeah. So that was a big part for me, was just like, man, who is this dude that recruited me? And like, this ain't the person that came to my house. And from that, like, that was really my first bit of adversity, because I didn't study or nothing like that in high school. In high school, I kind of knew how to work the system. I goddamn do my schoolwork at school. That way, when I got home from practice, I can talk on the phone, I can socialize and do the stuff I needed to do. But it created a space for me to not really have good study habits. So when I got to college, I struggled out the gate. Like, that was my first time ever really failing the class. Yeah. Just due to the fact that I ain't know how to study.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I chose to go into a major, mechanical engineering, that down and down there ain't no rubbing off on the professor and trying to, scoot over with
Ain't no
that.
shortcuts, yeah.
Nah, ain't no shortcuts.
Yeah.
And I think it was just that adversity. Then both of my parents lost their job as soon as I got to college too. So that really was a wake-up call for me too, because I went from both of my parents working, grinding, doing what they need to do, make sure I was straight, to now, my dad was sick, my mom, lost her job, and it's like, oh, this shit real now.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, get a job on the side and work and do all that kind of stuff. So it really became like, oh, this real now.
Now, you speaking on adversity, what you think your biggest struggle adversity was, like going through college, football, just in your life period? As a black man trying to be successful out here, you know what I'm saying?
I think my biggest struggle outside of the adversity that I faced while playing in college was trying to figure out my identity once I stopped playing. So 2017, I stopped playing, got back to the crib, trying to figure out who I was outside of football. You know what I'm saying? Because I had spent from 2009, my rookie year in the NFL, to 2017, bouncing around on different teams, playing, being on the active roster, not being on the active roster, being on the practice squad, and getting back home and like, damn, who am I outside of football?
Yeah.
And it led me to meeting some cats, getting involved in some shit I never thought I would have got involved in.
Did you feel like a failure though when you came back home?
Nah. That was year 9. So I had really went beyond the point. You know what I'm saying? So I got cut 2-3 times in between playing.
Yeah.
But I never really felt like a failure. It was just I knew every time I came home in between times in training, like shit, you just got to get back to it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't no different than being told like, oh, you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you're not fast enough. That's what it was for me. Every time it just gave me more fuel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to come back. And I knew I had the right people in my corner at the time to really keep me pushing and going. But that 2017 year was just different in a sense because it was over with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
accepted that it was over with.
Nah, I ain't accepted just yet. It was just like 2016, my last season, 2017, and like, all right, bro, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you finna do?
Yeah.
That's over with now. You retired. I was 31. So I done retired at one phase of my life already.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Get back in the city, get in the mix and get around certain people. And how my mind works is you put me in a room with something, I'm able to kind of reverse engineer anything. I went to school for engineering. And sitting in a room with somebody, they trying to put something together, and I figured out and I had the answer to it, and boom, now I'm off into some illegal shit.
Damn. Did you feel supported though throughout your whole career, like family and friends?
Yeah. I've always felt the support. Like my folks, they, like I said, they been there. My family, been there. But I think the hardest thing is when you get to a certain level of success and people look at you, and being in the NFL, people look at it. It's like the highest level. I think people sometimes feel like you got to figure it out in life outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it was times where in the transition process, it's like, shit, I'm trying to figure out who am I outside of my sport. And people like, oh, nah, you straight. You got it, bro. You did it over here, so you got to be straight over here. And it's like, nah, it ain't the same. Like my whole identity has been submerged into something I've been doing since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I never really factored into it. Like, they'll tell you like, oh, make sure you got your exit plan together, but shit, why you in it? Ain't no exit. This is it.
They're playing A through Z.
This is it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, 2012, I never forget, Mr. Patrick, it was my mentor. He owned the Five Guy Burger and Fries over there in Edgewood. I met him at the corner car wash one day randomly. Chris connected us.
Yeah.
And I went debt broke in the middle of my career. And I came to Mr. P. I was like, hey, Mr. P, I need a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying, to pay my car note, And he said, son, you're not going to get out of football what you want until you keep the main thing the main thing. I was like, man, what? Keep the main thing the main thing. Because at this time, now I'm trying to diversify. I'm investing, my partner, hey, bro, I got a clothes brand. I can do this, I can do that. And I was stretching myself thin for the main thing, which was football. So I get back home in 2013. And I moved back in with my mom and dad. My dad was real sick too around this time. And I never forget I go up to my partner Ross gym, and I'm like, I'm finna just get this shit all I got. If it don't revolve around football, I'm not doing it.
What Mr. P tell you?
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Facts. Go ahead.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
They're real.
Man, I one night with the tow truck outside the house, I had a black 650, and for some reason that night I parked it at the edge of the driveway. My mama come in there, she beat on the door. Hey, they out there, that's stealing your car. Man, I never forget. I rolled up. I said, oh no, that's the repo, man. I went out there, took that key to him. I said, hey man, keep it down, man. They got in the car and left out. Man, I came back in the house. My mom, she like, what are you doing? You just letting it all go? I'm like, yeah, I'm finna let everything go. If it's a distraction, if it don't mean, I'm letting it go. Mm-hmm. And I straight committed and did everything that I was supposed to do that year. So I just trained. I told Ross, I said, I can't pay you right now for training, but what I can do is, in the meantime, I come up here, I clean the gym, and I train these kids. And that's how I found out like I had a knack for that. Mm-hmm. So fast forward a few months, like I said, I just go to the gym, get my food, come at home, help my dad with his dialysis. That was my routine every day. To the day he passed, I got signed to go to play in the Canadian Football League the same day. Wow. The same as that day he passed. I'm talking about probably like 5 minutes after he passed, in the room with his body. My agent called like, hey, the BC Lions want to sign you. And it was up from there. I'm talking about it was up. I went up there and went crazy. And from that, I focused so much on ball, I stayed in that lane for me. Mm-hmm. Stayed in that lane and put me in a space where I became like a machine. Like it was just specifically about that. You know what I'm saying? And navigating the sports business after that too. Was really trying to figure that shit out.
What's the first thing you tried when you got back outside of the illegal shit? When you got back 2017, what's the first thing you tried?
Training.
Okay, training.
Yeah, so I came back. My partner Ted had took off in the training space, so I came and I went and I worked up under him for a little minute, and was doing it. And he'll tell, he'll be like, bro, you got it. Like, you know the game. You've been playing it for a minute. You got a way to talk to the kids. All that kind of stuff. But that shit was just. It wasn't moving fast enough. So I remember staying in that. For about 6-7 months. And doing it, getting the traction and getting the stuff built up. And then I went and did a football commercial. I did a commercial. This was the year that the Falcons they was on the road. Mm-hmm. And I did a commercial with my homeboy Jock McKenzie for a Visa commercial. We went. They ended up making us stay for the commercial, me and him. And we ended up being right next to Julio Jones' mom in the commercial. Shoot the commercial, get a check from the commercial right then and there, right? My first transaction, my partner Jock called me. He like, hey man, you remember that commercial we did? I'm like, yeah. He was like, hey man, check the mailbox. I called my mom. I'm like, hey, check the mailbox and see what's going on. She looked, 5 checks. That was God first time telling me right then and there. I ain't have to. I was getting out my lane, trying to do some legal shit anyway. Mm-hmm. That was the first sign God told me right then and there. Like, bro, what is you doing? But it was up from there. Niggas just being hard headed, and I look at it back then too. I got impatient with God.
Yeah. Like,
you ain't moving fast enough, bro. Give me the keys. You get in the passenger seat, I got this.
Crash.
He ain't even let me crash though. God didn't let me crash. He just got in the passenger seat and just rolled.
Yeah.
He just rolled, you know what I'm saying? And I think from that point, I just looked at it like, okay, this just a bonus on top of what I'm doing over here. Hindsight, I'm like, oh, this just a bonus. You know what I'm saying? But I often, like, looking back on it now, I'd be like, you know, it's interesting when you create a connection with God, it's like Wi-Fi. The further you get away from the signal, the weaker it is. You know what I'm saying? And the closer, you can hear it a lot faster, and you can hear the discernment. You can know when you ain't supposed to be doing something. You can hear it a lot faster. But at that point, I just was like, bro, I got this, God, move over. Like I got it.
What happened?
Shit, we off and running now. So I meet this dude. He introduced me to a play, you know, buying some guns and doing and selling them off. And from that, it was just, that's what we were gonna be doing. And it's something that
that was the full plan. Like,
full plan.
this what we finna be doing.
Yeah.
Like this, like we the pawn shop.
Like we the pawn shop. Like for real. And and like I said, even bro, like I look back at the moment, I'm like, man, it's so many other things that I figured I would have got involved. But that, I was just like, man, I'm not doing that. But like you said, when you get in a space of desperation and just, like you said, just out of your what's name, you will make some of the most out of character decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then once, like you say, once we had and did, I'm like,
The money good.
money good.
It coming.
They
calling. They want some more. That's how it go.
You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I'm taking the money from that to help the kids. So it like, these kids can't afford to come and pay me to train. So come on, y'all, come on. Come on. Oh, you can't afford it? Cool. Oh, you need to go to camp? Cool. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it became that.
So how y'all get caught?
The dude who was, you know, the top, he came down and him and some girl was out and ATF ran down on him. And then from that, you know, the dominoes started to
They
fall.
start telling?
Nah, she didn't, but I think from that point, phone calls, and then they start, how the feds work, they gonna start hitting people that's close to you.
Yeah.
They start hitting people that were close, and it ain't gonna take long before, you know, people they gonna do whatever is the best interest for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And from that, I ain't hear nothing about it for maybe 2 years. I remember the day they came. They came March the 5th, 2019. I ain't get indicted until April the 31st of 2021.
Damn. So they came today.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. For real. Yep.
March the 5th, 2019.
2019. They came, searched the house. I still got the voicemail on my phone. Came, hey, Mr. Parks, we need to see you. This is Officer Griffin. Hey, we got a search warrant. Da-da-da-da. They knocked the cameras down. They done tore the house up. Did all. That's the most violating.
They ain't find that no.
Didn't find nothing. But they took like documentation and stuff. And then, like I said, I didn't hear nothing else, you know, from them until 2 years later. I heard people, you know, people call me like, hey, bro, folks just came through. Asked me about you. This is what I told them I know you from, but that's what it was.
Oh, so they came and searched first.
Yeah, came and searched first.
Left you alone for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Came and got you.
Yep.
With a full indictment.
With a full indictment.
How long did it take you to, how much time did they give you?
27 months.
Okay. That wasn't bad.
Nah. Favor ain't fair.
Yeah.
Favor ain't fair. I had...
Like you said, God ain't let you crash.
Nah. Like I said, he definitely didn't do that. And, you know, it was several times, like you said, where I know it wasn't nothing but God. You know what I'm saying? Looking out. And... like I said, in the midst of this, what really pulled me away was when I started managing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew, like I said, I knew deep down, I ain't no street nigga. I just figured something out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just being
right
close.
there. It's the temptation that you didn't avoid. If you'd avoided the temptation, ain't no telling what's on the other side of that coin.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta know.
Yeah.
We all gotta know that, man. It's like, bro, you know how bad I be wanna go get me a pack?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to get a pack, man. It's so easy. But nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm gonna tell you what's interesting. I saw something the other day. It said after a while, I don't know what's the timeline of it, but they said that it's only a matter of time before your environment eventually is going to, if you don't remove yourself from it.
You said
It's only a matter of time before your environment will have an impact if you're not strong enough. And at that point, at this point, I done threw my hands up because I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do. Like, oh, you can go back to school. Yeah, I've been calling my school. I've been trying to, get back in and do different stuff, but that process then you used to making a certain type of money, used to, a lifestyle. That's another thing. Being so close to the streets, I'm like, man, it's certain stuff in the lifestyle that I wish I would have never been exposed to.
Who you think you let down the most besides yourself with that situation?
Oh, my mother, for sure. The hardest part was sitting down and having to tell her in front of my attorney. My attorney was like, "Hey, you need to tell her what's going on."
Wait, that you gotta go?
Nah, just like when they came to the house,
yeah.
then we went to, go see the attorney, to retain the attorney. That was the hardest part. Just be like, "Oh, Mom, I got involved." And she like, "Nigga, what?
Crazy, man.
Crazy?" Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the hardest part for me, like really having to tell my family, like, hey, this is what I've been doing. But it's crazy because my auntie Tracy, she be like, nigga, I knew you were doing something. Cause she been, you know what I'm saying, she done been in the game and been around.
Mm-hmm.
And she always call me like, hey, what you doing? Oh yeah, I'm doing this, Dad. Oh. Okay, so when it came down to it, and I had to sit down and talk to her, she said, she was like, I knew what was going on. Mm-hmm. She had that discernment, she had that feeling.
You doing something?
Yeah.
You
know what I'm saying? She could just tell how I was moving during the time. So
how was it like being like trying to balance like relationships and all that when you was in the league and in college and all that?
Man, I was so focused on ball. I ain't okay. I feel like everything, was a setup in the sense when it came to relationships. But I learned, like I had a couple relationships during that time. I was so focused, bank, bro. Like you couldn't really take me off my rocker. Like I remember being in one relationship. Shawty would argue with me all the way to the field. I get on the field and it's just like that was my safe space. Then get out the field, right back at it.
She argued with you all the way to the field.
Oh yeah. Just
what y'all arguing
over
about?
just dumb shit. Shit, it can be a nigga didn't do something right at the house. It could be the most randomest of shit. And at the time, I'll never forget my dad. My dad told me, my biological father, me and him, we real cool. I was raised by my stepdad since I was 2. But my biological father, he told me, he was like, son, he was like, it's certain stuff in your in your 20s, once you get to your 30s, you ain't gonna care about. And then now I'm at 38, it's certain stuff I care about in my early 30s. I'm just like, it don't matter to me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And during that time, it was so much stuff like control-wise and, you know, hey, what you doing? You know, all that kind of stuff. Even for myself, like, shit, trying to control, man, you ain't got no control over nobody.
But you better not even think you do.
But we think we do.
We think we do, but I know we don't.
You couldn't have told me I ain't had control back then.
But that's ego, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's ego to the T. And like I said, looking back then is like, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I'm doing. And like you said, y'all really battling the whole time, going back and forth over nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back at it now, I'm like, man, that shit was petty. Cause it wasn't about nothing.
What you think make people feel like they can control other people though?
Because somebody control them. People pleasing. Like, you know, going through all that stuff. Like, I feel like what possess a person to say, man, I'm gonna take this person, control them, make them do these things, or make them not do certain things. Like, it's something I ask even my partner, like, bro, what make you think you gonna be able to control or tell Shawty she gonna do this, or you gonna do this, or you can't even control yourself? Like, it's an interesting space to sit in and be in the space that I sit in now and understand of control and like how we think we joysticking people and getting them to do the things we want them to do, manipulating, and you really playing yourself in the long run.
Do you think some people just not meant to be in relationships?
Do I think that? Like marriage, or we just talking about relationship in general?
Committed relationship.
Committed relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people,
I don't think so.
you think you meant to be in a committed relationship?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why you feel like that?
Because of what I watched growing up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I watched my granddaddy, you know, and the things. I watched the men in my family, you know, really take care of the women and be good men.
But is it some more of them women out here like grandma in the world?
I don't know. I don't think we can do no comparison to what it was back in the day.
So how you gonna be granddaddy then? No, I ain't saying. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
mean,
asking.
I just feel like I could be the best version of who I am, because a lot of my like perspective on relationships is changing.
How so?
Because I'm in a space now where I look at, like, I've been asking myself lately, like, damn, do I wanna, can I be in a space of really just investing my all into one person? Or can different people get the love? Because I look at love different now too. You know what I'm saying? Love to me is not a control thing. And I don't want to be in a position anymore of feeling like I'm having to show up not as myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've shit, even in my family, like, I'm in a space now where it's like, this is who I am. I'm figuring out who I am. This is authentically who I want to show up and be.
Facts.
And this is what it is.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because at the end of the day, you got to deal with yourself being fake. Like,
real.
when you go home, you know that didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like, if you do something or say yes to something that you want to say no to, it's not gonna feel right, bro.
Yeah. Just going with it.
Just going with it don't feel right, bro.
Trying to keep the peace.
That I think that comes as you get older, because I used to just go with everything. Like, yeah. Nah, no.
It's so much power in that no, man. It's so much power in that no. Just be like, nah. Or just really voicing yourself.
Yeah.
Because I could think through my child. Like, I could think through my childhood and not really question or saying much of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And how it's bled over into my relationships and not really wanting to, I guess you could say, challenge, or, like you said, trying to keep the peace. my mama is a keep the peace person. And now I be like, we gotta shake this up a little bit. Like keeping the peace ain't really keeping it within yourself. Like you trying to keep the peace outside, but in yourself, you burning up.
That's torture.
Yeah.
That's torture.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people are torturing themselves.
Yeah.
But guess what? Like I always say this. It's like this, right? If I call you today, right, and you don't want to do something, but you tell me like, I'm gonna see if I can make it happen for you, man.
Yeah.
But you know it's really no.
I really know. I should just stamp that as a no then.
Yeah, but then when I call you, you gonna see me call you like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna feel a way about me calling you.
The whole energy behind it like that.
Yeah, your anxiety gonna be up. But no would have been no.
It just would have been done then.
See, now you gotta deal with this until you keep making up lies like, bro, it ain't came through for me yet, bro. It ain't.
Yeah.
That's fake.
Yeah. I remember
I used to do that. I used to be the fakest ever, like, and then go on and do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know I want to say no. I'm gonna tell me all the time, just say no.
Yeah.
I used to always be like, I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead.
Yeah. So from where you sit now, what you think was the root though?
The root was, I guess I ain't want to hear no. I wanted to do for people what I wanted done for me. You know what I'm saying?
For real?
You know what I'm saying? I want to be that person that I wanted.
Yeah.
For people. You know what I'm saying? I want to be big bro because I wanted a big brother. I wanted to be pops because I wanted a pop. I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be giving because I wanted to be gave too.
Yeah. But then
If that makes sense.
They make a whole lot of sense. It make a whole lot of sense. Because like you said, you really showing up. And like you said, being the person that you want people to be towards you, but you ain't finna get it back. It's just not finna happen that way. I remember talking about this with my ex. Like, you expecting for me to show up or respond or do certain things the way you would. And that's what make me who I am.
Yep.
Is my perspective on how I see stuff. Now, I can see how you would want me to do that, but that ain't
me. That ain't me, baby.
Nah.
That ain't me. See, I'm gonna tell you, that's what I think that's the disconnect in the relationships is people, instead of just saying no or exactly how they feel, they'll try to adapt so they can keep the person.
Yeah.
And then they be miserable.
Adapt to try to keep the person.
Yeah, so you faking yourself out, trying to fake them out, and they know you being fake.
Yeah.
But they'll allow you to be fake long as it pleases them.
Oh, yeah. It got to work in.
I'm saying each way, men and women.
Yeah, it got to work in my favor. But like I said, now what I see that is if you are not able to show up and be yourself, if a person telling me, oh, I don't feel, hey, man, what's going on? Am I presenting a space for you where you don't feel like you can show up and be yourself? I ain't judge you on nothing. Say what you feel and then let me determine if I want to deal with it or not.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But don't make the decision for me because you trying to, mold yourself into being what you think I want you to be.
That's when people be mad. Like anytime, have you ever seen a relationship when people break up, bro, they don't have no problem because they was both themselves in the relationship. A person would be mad because I tried to do all that for you. Yeah. That's when a person is mad at you.
Yeah, I done been there.
You know what I'm saying?
I done been there.
Man, I was coming in the house, I was doing all this. I ain't even that type of dude.
Yeah.
But, bro, when you had to do that, but be yourself because everything come to, well, not everything. Some things come to an end.
Yeah. So, So if I'm, essentially what you're telling me, if I'm putting on for a minute, she may be there for a second, but after a while, the mask gonna come out, right?
Yes, because it's gonna come a time. Listen, it ain't gonna. The mask might not come out, but the frustration of the mask gonna come off. Gonna be shown.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be depressed, tensed,
tired,
snappy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't even being you.
Yeah.
You can't, bro, that's the worst feeling ever. Like, you can go around everybody else and be yourself besides your mate or your family.
That's rough.
That's rough, bro.
That's rough. And I done felt that.
Everybody have. That's why we speaking this.
Yeah.
Everybody, some people are in this, some people
Man,
don't.
there's somebody sitting there right now talking about some, I don't know, it been, I don't know, it been me.
No, you ain't.
Shit.
Tell you,
They
bro.
do it for the money. You want to talk about that? They do it for the money.
But that's different though.
How?
I'm saying like a job, like you go to work, you gotta
job.
Listen, you go to work, you gotta have work etiquette if you're working for somebody else. Like you use a football player,
Right.
Them folks tell you gotta wear a suit to to whatever the game day. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Because you working for somebody else. But I'm talking about in a chosen relationship, we choosing to be one.
I done been, but I ain't gonna even cap to you, man. I done been around some cats in that locker room that don't give a fuck and show up just as who they are. But the difference is they're outlier on what they do on the field. They're a straight outlier.
They're different. They really ain't no worker. Them folks need them. I'm talking about a person that need them.
Yeah.
Like, I need you, so I gotta show up as how you want me if I'm doing a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that in relationships and family. I don't feel like that because these are choices.
Yeah. You feel like love is a choice?
Yes, I do. I feel like you can't help who you love, but I feel like the way I love you is my choice. You know what I'm saying? I can love you from a distance. I can love you close. I can love you. I can know I love you, but I can know that me and you don't mix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all got family members that we don't mix with.
Yeah.
We all got relationships that we've been in we don't mix with, but I love this person to death, right?
Yeah, for real.
So we'll try to adapt. Once again, we'll try to adapt because I love her.
Yeah.
But now you unhappy. You can't make somebody, you can't be in a happy situation unhappy. It's impossible.
Nah. How? Yeah. And I think that's kind of, I've had a couple talks with some OGs about their marriages. And one that stuck out to me recently was to hear a 65-year-old man tell me that he settled.
Bro, most people do. Most people do, bro. It's very rare you see a couple that's like together, bro. Most people, somebody is selling them. Somebody is compromising. That's what they call it. Somebody is compromising.
It's a difference between the compromising and settling, though.
Bro, if you compromising your morals and
Your
integrity and all that, bro, you're settling.
Shit.
I can compromise now. She won't date night.
Yeah.
But she won't this. But I can't compromise who I am. Like you tell me, babe, I don't really like hair on my face. I want your booty face.
Yeah.
That ain't compromise. What that is? That's adapt. I don't like dude with eyebrow, but I love you.
Yeah.
You love her so much you want to cut your eyebrows off.
Yeah.
Like you got people that do things like that. For people. Not just that, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we negotiate our non-negotiable too much.
So negotiating, but your non-negotiables from where you sit now is totally different than where they was, 5 years ago.
A year ago, for sure.
A year ago.
They steady growing. But when they come about, you gotta voice them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't leave nobody in the dark. You gotta voice them and get them time to adapt. Like, hey,
hold on now. You said give them time to adapt.
To my non-negotiable, not adapt, or give them some time to digest it.
Okay.
Let's say that. I'm gonna say not even adapt, digest.
Yeah.
Because this is who I am.
Right.
I'm telling you who I am. This is who I am, sweetheart, or whatever, sweetheart. This is how I am now.
Yeah.
I don't like when you ask me blase squaze.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna make me react in a way that you're not gonna like. So let's not do that anymore.
Right.
That's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You do it one time, you do it 2 times, I might let you get away with it. But if I see that you're not changing that, then I gotta stand on that, right?
Yeah. Man, it's interesting to say that. I call that giving somebody the playbook. Like I'm big on give me the answer to the test. Don't sit here and try to watch me fail to see what I'm gonna do. Don't test me. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up, break it down.
So like an example would be like you said, hey, I don't like when you do X, Y, and Z. Or hey, I like when X, Y, and Z is done. Right? So a person, what I've realized, like from being in therapy, some of the stuff I may project, some of the stuff I may do, is like I can give you the play sheet to if you want to see me perform the best, right? So if I'm dating and you shut down when confrontation come about, but I like to talk it out, right? Mm-hmm. A playbook answer for me when I'm dating somebody be like, hey, I understand, because I used to be like, nah, we got to talk about this now. But I done been in a relationship where I done tried to force that, and that shit blow up in my face. Mm-hmm. Then I'm sitting there looking like boo-boo the fool, because it like, she already said, hey, bro.
Let me calm down.
Let me calm down.
Yeah.
Nah, we need to talk about it now. We need... Hey, bro, I just told you we need to calm down.
I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Because I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Yeah. I'm that type of person, too. Let me calm down.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting over here like, damn, why you said that to me, bro? You ain't need. But really, I pushed the button too far.
Yeah.
So a playbook answer for me would be, all right, cool. I know you want to talk about this right now. I need an hour. But don't try to say we gonna talk about it, but then you just go on about your business. Now I'm sitting over here like, man, when we finna talk about this shit? This shit on my mind.
But the thing about that though, as men, and my boy Fish said that when he was up here, we have to blame ourselves for everything.
Huh?
We do, bro.
Break it down.
Because at the end of the day, if I see she wasn't the one that need an hour, and I wasn't the one, hey, we need to talk about this now.
Yeah.
You ain't the one.
Damn, just off that?
That's what it is, bro, because I know how they make me feel. I'm finna be, this hour you taking, it burning me up.
Skillet.
You know what I'm saying? I need to get this off. I need some understanding.
Yeah.
So there's a person.
But I feel like at that point it's like me compromising. Like, all right, I'm gonna give you your hour. Now I'm cool now because I can go on.
But when y'all talk about the hour, when the hour come and the conversation don't go how she don't know how to communicate the conversation that you want to have, then what? You wait an hour, now you mad at her.
Shit, yeah. Shit, you gotta deal with that when it comes. But I gave you your hour, so it can't be no, I done been in a situation where it's like, I don't want to talk. Okay, well, I'm just supposed to sit back. Now I'm mad. Or like you said, it done been to that point where I've learned, like I said, just through therapy, like what I'm projecting and what I'm not projecting, or like understanding what, like you say, a boundary is, bro. Like having boundaries to a person that overstep boundaries is like you tripping.
I think, me personally, man, and I could be tripping, I think trying to be in a relationship and you ain't in the right mental space, it'll never work. Because you gon' lash out on somebody that ain't got, like, even just imagine two people that's not where they want to be, that have different ambitions and goals, you know what I'm saying? So that's all a bunch of stress right there. And then you trying to be one?
One.
You trying to come together as one?
But you see from that, it sounds like them two broken pieces trying to make one.
But shit, what person ain't broken? They come from where we come from.
True.
People got a bunch of undiagnosed things going on within them. You know what I'm saying? So like for her saying she can't talk about it right now, that come from past trauma or whatever. That come from something. And you saying you need to talk about it right now, that come from something.
Yeah. So then what if it get to a place where she taking the playbook now, and like now when certain situations come about, boom, she read it in and there, and then certain stuff. Like I just feel like it become that kind of like a violent back and forth with like you gonna compromise in the spaces that you want to be in, that you may thrive in, that you may be better in, and then boom, it might be a situation. Like if it's a situation where it's something with me, how I feel about it, bro, ain't no tabling this on your account for you to be able to say, oh nah, we ain't talking about this right now. Oh nah, this need to be talked about now because it's in regard to how I feel.
Yeah.
But like you say, if I done fucked up, if I done did something, I can't force you to want to talk right now because I'm trying to, come to a resolve on something just so I can be
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying.
better about it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I take
seeing
stuff like that. It like
you saying like if you in the wrong, you can't force her to hear your apology, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to get some
But
straight
she in
about
the wrong.
it, right.
She got to give me. Hey, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, it gotta be that type of situation. Like one thing I've like through therapy learned, like man, conversation is an exchange. It's damn near like playing tennis. So one of the things that my therapist always says, like trying to have the ball when somebody talk. You can't talk until I pass you the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even for me to this day, that's still a struggle for me because it's like not getting attached to one part of the conversation because it's triggering to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I done had to dial through that, just like trying to make sure I listen through the whole thing and hear, and then make sure I ain't just like, man, I'm ready to respond to this right here.
But that's what I'm about to say, because that's what most people do. People be quiet, but don't be listening
At all.
Just so they can get off one part of that conversation that they heard, like, oh, I can't wait to respond to that. I'm gonna be quiet, let you finish, but I'm gonna say something about this.
And you like, bro, that's all you heard out of what I just said.
Bro, that goes on though. That goes on, bro. That goes on. Like, it's crazy, bro. Mental health, faith, and personal growth, man. Let's speak on that, man. Your faith, where your faith lies at.
Oh, I'm a firm believer in God. Firm believer in everything. All my steps are ordered wherever I'm supposed to go. So even me looking back through situations I was supposed to go through.
Journey. It was your journey.
It was a part of my journey. It's a part of me telling my story. Everything that I've experienced through the adversity of ball, to going to prison, to what it is, I feel like it has made me to be able to walk and talk and be in rooms in different spaces and be able to touch so many different people, bro.
You feel like your faith was ever tested?
Hell yeah. Man, yes. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like I said, that Wi-Fi example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember cause my relationship at the time with God wasn't so strong, right? I remember, folk prophesying. And hey, man, God told me he gonna get you out of this. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Oh yeah, he gonna get what I want. So now I gotta lean on bank relationship with God for me to get my message for whatever it is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to start. Now I'm around it. God said what now? I need to do what? I need to da-da-da.
Yeah.
Nah. And now too, what I'm hearing is based off that one part of that conversation. Man, the whole time I remember like somebody was like, nah, God gonna get you through this. But like I said, me hearing it, I'm like, he gonna get me out of there. Nah, bro, that ain't what you
Gotta
hearing.
lock in with him.
That ain't what you hearing. This your relationship with God.
Yeah.
This is for you to have that relationship. This for you to talk with God how you talk to God. Like I had to learn. I remember my life coach who I got now. I remember calling him one day. I was like, man, how you hear from God? How you hear from God? Because I done heard people say they have dreams. I done heard people say they hear an audible voice and all that kind of stuff. And it's different for different people. I know for me, through other people, I have dreams, I have visions, and through music. Through music, sometimes I get a message and be like, that ain't nothing but God. Or just how things, work out theyself. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing with control. Every time I try to control something in regards to my case, life, stuff like that, shit, I messed it up even more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So the work that God was doing or was trying to show me was something that is like, bro, I got you. Just step to the side. Just step to the side. Every time I try to control something, it would just it'll dissolve right there in my hand versus just being in surrenderance.
Have your mental ever been tested?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think The most for me was during the time of me understanding the influence and the impact I had with my case because of certain people that was involved. And now I'm like, damn, this falling on me. You trusted me enough. You know what I'm saying? You did this, and I put you in harm's way, of a situation. And that fucked with me a lot during that time because while I was dealing with it, it still was people calling me like, bro, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? And they're like, shit, I'm trying to figure this out for myself right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what really drove me to therapy was me realizing like, here I am in a space of I need answers, I need resolve, or I need that, and people still coming to me to figure it out. So where my circle of people, where are the ones that I can depend on and lean on during this time when I'm facing adversity?
I got this part where I do like answer a word with a word. So I say a word and you say the first word that come to your head.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Resilience.
Perseverance.
Adversity.
Ooh. Opportunity.
Success.
I had about 5 words came with mind with success. Cause it's so subjective, bro. We got this whole viewpoint. Success. I'm gonna say winning.
Faith.
Tested.
I'm telling you. Leadership.
Show and prove.
Transition.
Patience.
Discipline.
Structure.
Entrepreneurship.
A journey.
Mentorship.
Watering.
Passion.
Fire.
Growth.
Learning.
Empowerment.
Impact.
Authenticity.
Real.
Strategy.
Engineering.
Influence.
Influence a trick one for me because I always say impact over influence. First word that come to mind with influence. What I'm gonna say for influence? It can be powerful.
Overcoming.
Overcoming. That'll be resilience.
Mindset.
I just thought about Marco just out the gate off of that because of what
Marco, that is brotherhood.
man. Accountability.
Preservation.
Safety.
Legacy.
Impact again.
Which one of the words like just stuck out to you? Like that you struggle? You struggle with influence. Why?
Because that's the space we in, and I've been in the background of a lot of your heavy influential people, and most of the people they call them influencers because of the numbers, but don't really know the person. So, who are you allowing to quote unquote have influence? Are we allowing a person to have influence because they got a large following? Or are we allowing folks to have influence because they're actually impactful?
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? So I know some very impactful people who don't have the quote unquote numbers that people are like, oh, he ain't, but they doing stuff in the community. You know what I'm saying? They're changing folks' lives, they're changing the people's lives around them. And I think it's become a buzzword now. It's just like you say, it's a word like, oh, I'm an influencer. I'm an influencer, but what are you influencing?
Them facts.
Like, what are you really influencing? What are you really impacting out here that's moving the needle in some type of way?
With you when you're right.
Like,
I think, we do book of the week. What book should be on?
The most impactful book for me has been I just really drew a blank on it because I'm thinking about 4 or 5 different books. The seven spiritual laws of success.
Okay.
And the Untethered Soul.
Which one? The Untethered Soul, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I like that one too. So that's the book of the week, The Untethered Soul. Yeah, that's
Untethered Soul is like that. That book helped me to understand control and how much your inner roommate will play them tricks on you.
Yeah.
Like how much your thoughts. I think in the first or the second chapter it talks about could you spend. Cause like I'll go, for a ride. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my things. I'm gonna crank that old school up. I'll go hit 285. Like that's something that just give me that joy. I'll go take the dirt bike, go hit the trail. Mm-hmm. And it says, could you spend a day with your inner roommate with you in the car? And the stuff it say to you, the thoughts you have, like it's saying it to you. And I don't think a lot of people could, bro.
That's all I do.
That inner roommate a motherfucker.
Man, what? You retarded. What's next for Cord, man?
Man, continuing to create. Been producing a few different shows, continuing to connect the dots. Definitely getting back out there with these kids. Making sure they know my story. I think a big part is making sure they see somebody, they can see themselves and really, understand that somebody done been through it and you ain't got to go through it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was the first example for myself as far as like going to the NFL and the experience for myself. So now it's like I want to make sure that I'm sowing, sowing and giving all the game I got. I want to make sure I don't got nothing left. Mm-hmm. I want to give it all out and make sure that the next group that come behind us got all the tools, the resources, the things to do to really, transition from sport back to real life and be impactful. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, I remember doing my pre-sentence interview. It's an interview you do, and they pretty much go through your whole life. And this is, when you go to the feds, this is really the judge first time seeing who you are on paper, besides seeing your case. So your case is obviously the ugly person that they gonna see, but then your pre-sentence report is supposed to be like, who you are and all that kind of stuff.
You score low, real low, right?
Yeah. So I remember telling, and like I said, just how God worked. The day I did my pre-sentence report, the supervisor of all the probations was there. And she was so shocked when she heard my story and all that kind of stuff. And I remember getting at the end and she was like, y'all, they don't have any resources like that for when y'all transition from playing ball back to what's now. Like, not like that. Like, some of that stuff is gatekeep. I don't know why cats be feeling like, don't give information. I ain't never understood that. But even the prison system got a way for you to transition. Mm-hmm. Halfway house. You know what I'm saying? And, even for, vets, you know what I'm saying? It's the closest things to not going to war, but them 3 things are the closest thing. Prison, guys that I've talked to from, they've been to the Army and then cats coming out the league, because it's like you struggling with an identity, trying to figure out who you are. So she was very surprised to hear, like, man, that shit is, once we done with you, they on to the next. We got a next young cat coming in, so just making sure that. And I didn't understand too then the impact of like the our union and all that shit too. Because once you come in young, you only worried about yourself right then and there. It's a lot of stuff we voted on my first 2 years in the league that impact guys who ain't playing. Health insurance. Yeah. All that kind of stuff you don't really be thinking about until you done playing. Mm-hmm. So just making sure I'm giving these folks the information like, hey, bro, make sure you're doing this once you get in there. Hey, make sure you tap into your resources. You got this, you got that, and then building a space where cats can really start to expand themselves outside of the sport. Because it don't last forever. 3 years is the average career.
Nah, your story is dope, bro, and inspiring, man. That's why I had to have you on him.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, if people want to tap in with you, where they can find you at?
Hey, you can find me on Instagram at CPTWO9. Man, I've been trying to change that for the longest, bro. They won't let me change it.
Why not?
I don't know. I think because I got the old I don't know. I've been trying to email
I
me and
just changed mine.
everything.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna try to show you when we get online.
Yeah,
I
man,
changed mine probably about a year ago.
Yeah, I've been trying to change it. Every time I try to change it, it won't change. But yeah, at CPTWO9.
And y'all make sure y'all go to the Big Fat Network, like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate you pulling up on me, Corey.
Nah, I appreciate it, brother.